So I am wearing my official 6H9 colored shirt today so we can feature the 6H9 FJ40 on this episode of Proffitt's Resurrection Land Cruisers TV. Keep watching. So you guys know that I'm picky about fabrication, right? I mean, I'm just the believer that if you have a shop and you're charging money to do something, then your work should be above the level of sort of amateur in the garage level stuff. So if you have a shop and you're charging a lot of money for your stuff, it better be really nice, right? That means that you don't use this stuff right here. This stuff right here, I don't even know what it's called, unistrut, plumber's tape, I'm not sure, but this, you know, easy to bend, pre-drilled, build it yourself steel has no business being on something that you're charging people for. And since I came over here to look at that, check this out. Mounting things wrong can end up doing big damage to stuff. And in this case, this engine, pretty expensive little guy there with no air cleaner, wouldn't last very long because this air cleaner is certainly not mounted rigid enough. And look at that, that hose clamp wasn't even doing anything. That's just part of it, right? If you aren't putting a lot of thought and effort into your fabrication, and if you don't have the tools to do it right, well, just maybe discount your labor, or something like that. Stop it. Don't get that light too close to this gasoline. I can feel the heat from that thing. If one spark comes off that. Actually, when I was a kid, me and my buddy Dirk had a 5-gallon can of gas on the sidewalk by the street, and we were trying to light it.
So not the
we were flicking. Yeah, we were flicking. You know how you could tear a paper match off, and you just flick it. You know, you hold the pack with one hand, and you flick it. We were flicking matches into this gas, trying to get it. We better start switch, Hemingway, and go and into the gas, and they would just go psst, and go out, psst, and go out. And I don't know, we went through a couple of packs of matches, and for some reason, one of them, like 23 matches in, boom! So now we've got a 5-gallon bucket of gas on fire on the side of a really busy street, and Dirk kicked the bucket over, and it went whoosh, right across the street. And there's like 6-foot flames across 4 lanes of traffic.
Oh my gosh.
We hid under the crabapple tree for several hours that day. What are you guys working on?
Nothing. I don't know.
What is this? Here be my Stevie Ray glasses. I know what Alex is doing. He won't talk about it, but I can talk about it. And I bet you guys can guess this is the beginning of a gas tank. One of those, you've seen those gas tanks that go under both seats of an FJ40? Well, that's what that's gonna be. Because the tunnel is custom, we can't use one of those pre-made ones, and Alex doesn't like using anybody's pre-made anything anyway. He'd rather just make everything from scratch. This is the gas tank, the rather big one for the rather big engine in this super cool truck right here. Have we talked about this truck? Todd says yes. Alex says no. This is a pretty cool vehicle. This is the longest transmission tunnel in the world because there's an 8L90E under that, and that's a really long transmission. And Alex has modified the back of it. Well, the whole thing's custom, but he's modified the back of it for this little trough right here. And you know what that's for? For the gas that's on that side of the gas tank to get to this side of the gas tank. It's gonna have to slosh back and forth because geez, this thing would have like a 10-mile range with a factory tank. So anyway, custom tank with a little runway for the gas to get over here. Pretty cool, really cool. This is a factory soft, well, this isn't a factory soft top cruiser. Actually, I think this might have been a factory soft top cruiser to begin with, yeah. But I know how to tell. I've said this in the video before, but this hole right here That hole right there would have been a hole with threads in it if this were a factory soft top cruiser. So erase everything I just said. But we are turning this into a soft top, factory soft top replica cruiser with this soft top frame that you see right here. People always ask us where we get this stuff. So this is the soft top frame kit sold by Real Steel Cruiser Parts. It's a little tall or wide, I can't remember, we modified them slightly, but it's a nice piece. This part right here that's so hard to get, the B pillar, is super nice from them, as is this door header. So we assemble these kits. In this case, it's a little bit custom because it's on an Aqualoo tub and it's on a speaker mount in the back, and then we mount the whole thing up and get it square, and then we take it to an upholstery shop. Really, any boat canvas shop or good upholstery shop can make these tops, and then you get to pick your color, and you get to pick whether you want tinted windows or not, and then you get to pick the window size, and you can make them, you know, match your cruiser more. So we don't use any of the pre-manufactured ones. So anyway, that's what this is. Pretty soon it's going to have soft top, factory soft top, and it'll be ready for the summer. What you got there?
I was out shaking the parts tree.
Yeah. And now it fell some.
Crawling through the dirt, it fell over on my head. So I was out there rolling around fighting for some parts.
Is that 100 series?
It is.
Yeah. That doesn't look rusty. That must have not come off the car that you're working on.
Indeed. Yes, I was underneath the body we're about to put back on our beautiful rolling chassis, and yeah, the old fuel lines on there look like a cheese grater.
Yeah, 100 series Land Cruisers have the ability to look rust-free from the outside and be completely destroyed by rust underneath, right?
That's amazing.
80 series can kind of do it, but 100 series Land Cruisers can look cherry. That's why you should always be careful if you're buying a 100 series Land Cruiser, especially one from the Midwest or back east, and ask for, you know, undercarriage pictures. You have to get undercarriage pictures because those things rot out. The frame will be unsafe. All the lines will be rusted in half. The AC frequently quits because of rust.
The aluminum on the AC helps, but this particular truck had several spots rotten in the fuel lines from the tank to the engine, and the brake lines were coming apart, so eventually they would have just literally blown up. And
well, that's why the car was off the road. Let's
Yeah.
go see. Let's go see. I'll go show you what we're doing to save 100 series. So I've been having a hard time taking pictures of this or putting it on camera because it doesn't look like a really good restoration, right? Well, that's because it's not a restoration, it's just a preservation of this vehicle. We're doing everything we can to keep this on the road for as long as possible. And because it's a 100 series and they last forever, this is definitely worthwhile. Plus this is a sort of beloved member of the family car. And so anyway, let me show you what we did. So this is a replacement chassis, and we hot dip galvanized this and we powder coated it. And then we replaced as many of the components as possible with OEM components from Toyota. So new control arms, new axle shafts, new brake line tees, new bolts and suspension bolts wherever possible, and of course a whole new suspension. Then we made all new brake lines, and you know, anything else that we couldn't scrounge up from the donor 100 that wasn't compromised by rust. So you know, pretty new chassis, suspension, frame. The engine itself is also rebuilt with and then using some of the components from the old 2UZ. So not a beautiful restoration, but definitely something that's going to last and last. Put this rig back on the road and make it last in those horrible conditions a lot longer, and for that reason it's a really cool project. This 1979 FJ40 went under the knife for one of our body off stage 3 restorations. And on this one, we kept things almost entirely stock. Just a few deviations from that for drivability and practicality. And other than that, we kept all the Toyota DNA. This Land Cruiser was originally Desert Tan, but the customer chose 6H9 as its new paint color. Toyota calls this light grayish olive, and it's not a very common color. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if I've ever seen anything really painted this color from Toyota, but this is the second time we've used it. We've got it formulated in our single stage paint line, and it's actually a really, really beautiful color. For the drivetrain, we stayed with the original 2F engine. Of course, it has been cosmetically restored and it looks absolutely beautiful. We also added vintage AC to this vehicle, and you can see that aftermarket AC compressor right there on the passenger side. Other than that, everything in this engine compartment, like all of our stage 3 restorations, is 100% restored and gone through. Behind the 2F engine, we kept the original H42 4-speed and the original transfer case with the parking brake drum on the back of it. The suspension on this Land Cruiser is mostly original, but we do have our PRLC shackle reversal in the front, which really makes the drivability much better. I guess we've already got 200 miles or so on this, and it drives just beautifully. We complement our shackle reversal with Bilstein shocks on all 4 corners. Like most of our restorations, the underside of the body tub on this FJ40, the underside of the fenders and running boards, and also the interior floor are all shot with 2-part polyurea spray liner in body color. Inside this FJ40, we've got just a couple of other deviations from factory. The first is our PRLC Tuffy box. It's hard to beat this for an armrest and security, and it's a great place to have a couple of extra switch mounts and a USB charger, and in this case, a wireless charger for your phone. Tuffy Security Center console is a worthwhile addition for sure. We also changed the interior upholstery. This client wanted cloth, and so we used a fabric that we use that's called Bordura. Actually, it's probably not called that anymore. I think the company changed hands or something. It's a really durable, soft, and stain-resistant material that's great for a utility vehicle like an FJ40. Looking at the dash, you'll notice the vintage AC that I mentioned, which is going to make this a lot more comfortable to drive in the winter and the summer. And above that, you'll see our retro stereo option and a pair of speakers in the back corners in our PRLC speaker mounts. One last small change to the interior is our rigid interior light in the factory OEM roll bar. FJ40s like this are really my favorite kind of restoration. Even though we do get to spread our wings and have lots of fun with the custom builds, these kinds of restorations always end up being my favorite, the ones that are closest to stock. I can't stand it when I see FJ40s that were restored and don't have OEM Toyota components on them. So I'm just gonna go through and show you just a few of the things you can get. It's actually kind of crazy what you can't get, but it's really surprising what you can. This bumper, brand new from Toyota. The headlights, an upgrade from Toyota that are really, really cool. The front marker light assemblies, available brand new from Toyota. These hood latches and also the latches for the windshield, available from Toyota. Why would you use an aftermarket stainless steel one of those that doesn't work right when you could get a Toyota one? I have no idea. The emblems on the aprons and the ones on the back, all available new from Toyota. This hood cushion, new from Toyota. Of course, the wiper blades new from Toyota. Mirror heads, door handles, window weather stripping, rear marker lights, reflectors. Not the taillights just got discontinued, but these were original Toyota. All of that stuff available right at your local Toyota dealer on one of those Toyota dealers that are online. So stay away from the Chinese aftermarket stuff unless unless it's just a super budget build. If you're doing a nice restoration, give your local Toyota dealer some love and get the best parts for your Land Cruiser. I can even keep going. The wheels are available brand new from Toyota, as are the original hubcaps. These bumperettes are not only available from Toyota, they are cheap. You can't get the license plate frame, but you can get the lights themselves and these hoods and even the rear window. For some reason, the weather stripping on a Land Cruiser, the window gaskets almost always are good, except for the ambulance door glass ones, but these are brand new from Toyota. So there you go. Tech tip, I guess, or maybe favor of the week. But if you didn't know that, it's true. Thanks again for watching this episode of Proffitt's Resurrection Land Cruisers TV. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do so. We've got 100,000 followers on Instagram, and we're trying to get our YouTube up to 10,000 followers. We'll probably do some special giveaway when that happens. Anyway, Pro Cruiser on Instagram, Proffitt's Resurrection Land Cruisers on Facebook, and resurrectionlandcruisers.com on the old World Wide Web. Thanks for watching. Some of the office people have been counting shirts in the showroom lately to make sure we have the right inventory, and I walked by and saw that the shirt is kind of the same color as the 6H9 Land Cruiser, so I figured it'd be a good opportunity to show you guys that we do have lots of shirts and swag and merch in our online store. There are 3 new logo t-shirt colors that are just hitting the store, so get over there and get your Proffitt's Resurrection Land Cruisers merch. And they make great rags.
Oh, a Baba pant.
Oh yeah, gotta get that big edit, you know.
Stands the bottom pants hole.
The real reason Todd comes over here isn't to film us, it's actually just so he can listen to our
What are you guys
egregious
doing?
banter. We're Sorry.
Take two.
Todd has some pretty sweet crotch footage at lunchtime. My CT.
Can we not use any of this? Oh, yeah, Bob needs new pants.
I thought these were my good pants because you're making fun of my other pants, so I got better pants, but then the hole just migrated down.
Is he gonna talk?
You want me to?
Can he not talk?
Yeah, I can.
Is it possible for Sean to not talk?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can sip it.